Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Keeping Up with Conspicuous. So we are joined today, we've got a new co-host, Nico, our
Hi,
UK
everyone.
director, and then we've also got James joining us from Sci-Net Business Solutions today, who is their sales and account manager. So how are you, James?
Very good, thank you. Good to be here. How are you guys?
We're all good. It was a bit of a crazy morning, didn't we, today? So yeah, but all good.
Yes.
So obviously, for everyone who will be tuning in today, if you just give them a little overview of you, who you are, where you come from, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So hi everyone, my name's James Bourdon. I'm currently the sales and account manager here at Sci-Net. Previously, it's funny enough because Sci-Net's a tech business. We work in the tech industry, but prior to working here, I had no tech experience. I actually was fully in sport, but I sort of also had the sales experience too. So it was very transferable when making the leap into Sci-Net. I've been here now for 2 years, and I've come up the ranks. I've come from started off as sales executive, I then went to sales and marketing, and now sales and account manager. But I'm learning to be a consultant as well. So depending on how this podcast go, I may see a promotion. Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow! I mean, we'll have to get onto that about the jump to a consultancy. That will be consultant. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
Test your knowledge.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Don't worry, we won't put you on the spot.
Yeah, they've set us up today to actually question
I appreciate
your
that.
exam to become one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yay.
No, not at all. But Sci-Net, so we work quite closely with you guys. I know you liaise with Nico quite a lot as well. But if you would sort of explain Sci-Net a little bit about what you guys do, what you stand for, etc. And yeah, it'd be good to know a little bit more.
Yeah, so Sci-Net, we're one of many Microsoft resellers that offer a product called Business Central. This is a cloud-based ERP solution, so it's enterprise resource planning. But Sci-Net ourselves, we're family run. We're in the heart of Oxfordshire, so near to Chipping Norton, where Clarkson's Farm is, which is quite exciting. Although there are quite a few fields around us. So very countryside, but yeah, we're coming up to now 60 employees. But we are sort of one of the smaller resellers of the big pond, but I think we have quite a big impact when it comes to customer satisfaction. And I think that's through the 3 decades of experience that the company's been running for under Duncan's leadership, and it's allowed us to build that system reliability and foundation for the customer satisfaction that we try to uphold and manage as a business. But so we're also a tier 1 Microsoft Dynamics and Azure Gold partner, which means that we can obviously deliver our trusted solutions as well as the standard Business Central product that Microsoft offer. We've also been able to develop our own industry specific solutions to help build our diverse clientele that much further and help them with their growth. So we specialize only in a couple of verticals. We don't have a system that fits all. We specialize in retail, e-commerce, serving merchants, trade counters, and distributors. So yeah, our main focus is around those verticals.
Oh wow! I mean, yeah, that was a good overview, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously,
Yeah.
I've got a good knowledge of Sci-Net myself. I've worked with you guys, Kai and Duncan, and for a number of years, and obviously always had a very good relationship there. And the feedback that we've had as well from the candidates that have joined has always been very positive. And as you said, it got a very good reputation in the market as well, which is great.
That's very good to hear.
It always is.
Yeah.
All positive feedback is always nice, isn't it? So
Yes, it is definitely.
And, in terms of what you specifically do, I know you said that you had that transfer from sports into IT lots of transferable skills, but also completely different industries, isn't it? But the sales, your I can't even talk today. Your journey, that's the word. Your journey to where you are today. What does your role sort of entail at Sci-Net?
So at the moment, obviously, I'm sales and account manager. So it's a bit of a hybrid role where, but actually, I think it's quite beneficial for me, working in the pre-sales environment as well, looking and building that rapport with prospects all the way through to the actual successful implementation of a project, where they'll then get handed over into support. So I have that relationship from the get-go with prospects that then come customers, and it allows me to really delve into our relationship and build that customer journey that much better, and also understand and help with their goals and missions for growing the business.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously we understand a little bit on the account management side. I mean, we do have to do some sales as well. So yeah, we understand how important your role is within a business. And I know you guys sort of mentioned about customer experience, and Nico mentioned how obviously everyone who joins you also loves it as well. So I feel like the customer experience and culture at Sci-Net is quite a big thing, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the first thing that I saw when I came into the company. Sci-Net and the culture here, it allows employees and everyone inside the company to leverage their own tools and skills to fully better develop themselves as a team, but also as individuals. I know for me, I've had this learning path in sort of looking at consultancy, but that highlighting of the culture within Sci-Net sort of reflects within our customers as well, and it allows us to have that personal relationship with customers rather than obviously treating them just as a number or another customer. We really like to go into that added customer satisfaction and build from there. But yeah, no, I think what I've learned from my role actually is, I really want to help streamline. My goal is to help streamline the communication between the Sci-Net team and our customers team. So it's not really what I know, it's who I know in the Sci-Net team to speed the process up, whether that's an issue or that's something that they want to talk about for your future strategy or planning into the roadmap. I'm there as the intermediary of the company to help facilitate that change or that problem and get a fix quickly. So I like to, and that's why I'm learning to be a consultant now as well, so I can do both. I can obviously help with the streamlining communication, but I can also now add value to my response with customers.
Brilliant. But just a question just on that sort of, and your journey specifically. I mean, how did that transition from where you were before, as you say, before this is your first role in the tech space? How did that come about, and how have you found that transition? Because we get questioned quite a lot by people that want to make a similar transition, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to go about that.
No, so I was working in the sports industry actually during COVID, which was a tough time for all, I'm sure. Where trying to keep a job, and I sort of came to the realization that the job that I was working for wasn't quite up to what I wanted, and to improve myself as an individual and learn those added skills. And so it was really just, I was, when I was looking for the next job, I was predominantly looking in the sports field. However, Duncan approached me and said, look, you do sales, come have a go in tech. And so, that was something that I, initially was sort of abrupt to go, oh, should I do this, or do I go down the sports path? But no, I think after it was a slow process for sort of coming into the industry, And it did take a lot of learning to understand the concepts and, you know, the technicalities around the product that we sell. But, you know, I'm here 2 years later, and I think, you know, the tech industry is definitely an industry that, you know, I'd recommend people have a look and go down if they're in sales, definitely.
I think it's quite interesting, because I think that's such a key asset to Sci-Net as a business. Like, you've come in with sales and they're giving you that opportunity to progress into a consultancy role. So, you know, they clearly see a really good part of their employees, and will help them excel within that area. Because obviously consultancy is completely different. Like, your hands on, it is a lot more technical. Did you ever actually think you'd end up going into like a IT consultancy role in life?
No, absolutely not. No, I thought I was going to be stuck at sales and marketing. But no, I think the progression here at Sci-Net is brilliant. And, you know, if we want to go down a path, then, you know, Duncan and the other directors, Kai, Tim, they facilitate that. We've got a really good learning path that we can stick to, and, you know, just build on our own time. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Well, I know obviously you mentioned about Business Central. Now, a lot of our viewers will sort of know about Business Central and what it does, etc. But if there was any extra points regarding that, I know you said you do bespoke systems for certain areas in the industry, which is interesting. Is there any sort of points you want to touch base on regarding your systems, or just Business Central as a whole?
Yeah. So, I mean, just to put it simply, obviously, Business Central is a cloud-based solution. It's a comprehensive business management software with small to medium-sized businesses. So it essentially allows you to transform your operations, centralize all of the sort of the financial management, inventory, supply chain, etc., into one single system. You know, sort of getting rid of, you know, multiple systems, that disjointment and manual workload. So, you know, Business Central is a great asset for automating and improving all of your processes, and ultimately allowing you to work smarter, adapt quicker, and, you know, perform better. And that sort of comes into where Sci-Net happens to be as well. So I would say our biggest standpoint when it comes to Business Central is, you know, our customer satisfaction. First of all, we really pride ourselves on building that relationship, as I said previously, developing that roadmap with our customers. But the other side to, I think, our unique selling point is the IP, the intellectual property that we own, that comes with the ERP sort of industry-specific solutions that I mentioned as well earlier. You know, we have solutions, ERP retail, specifically for retailers, to allow them to, you know, improve their processes from a more tailored functionality point of view. We also have ERP trade, and, you know, we have ERP fashion and ERP jewelry too. So these solutions are really tailored to specific industries to help build, you know, those business operations and guide that growth for businesses. So I suppose, in answer to your question, you know, it was a very long-winded one, but yeah, Sci-Net. When we talk to our customers, we always say, you know, be ready for growth, because Business Central is the main driver for Business Central is, you know, that speed in automation, that business process, but also the return of investment. You know, for having it, it's a large investment. You know, there's no point beating around the bush. It's a big cost. But, you know, the return on investment that you get, and what we see with customers, is around the 7-month mark post go live. So, you know, you are really sort of cutting those sort of cutting out the unnecessary sort of tasks, the manual, and really bringing the efficiencies into the business, and that's what we help to facilitate.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point as well, because sometimes it can be very difficult for a business to see the longer term ROI, doesn't it? You know, because they see this huge upfront cost, and then, you know, to really get the buy-in, and not just buy-in from a business at sort of senior top level, you've also got to get then the buy-in of all the users as well, because otherwise, if they're not going to utilize the system, then it's not going to return its benefit, is it? So that must be one of the biggest challenges.
I mean, there's lots of challenges for Business Central. You know, the implementation itself is, you know, a complex procedure. I won't go into the technical, obviously. You know, I'll bore you with technical stuff of what I know. But no, the common challenges for Business Central, you know, as you said, is managing that change from the users within the business as well. But also, you know, cost overruns. Some ERP partners, you know, can charge you sort of, or show you the costs, and actually the project itself can be more expensive in terms of software, training, consultancy fees. There may be some hidden costs as well. The extended timelines, you know, from projects being delayed, scope changes, but one of the bigger ones as well, data issues. So, you know, it's a two-way street when it comes to an implementation. Obviously, from Sci-Net's side, you know, helping to design, develop, and deploy the system, but also from the customer side, the most important features for them to do is, you know, data is a really big step within the process, and data migration into the business is a big job that needs the customer's support, and obviously they need to do it themselves, obviously with our help. But the other sort of problem that we face in implementations is in the UAT phase, so the user acceptance training testing phase, where, you know, we see customers who aren't testing the system properly, and you know, we've had or there are instances in the past where, you know, there has been no testing, and when they go live, that's when all the problems start, and there's no reset button. So those are the most important phases. But Sci-Net, we really help to mitigate these risks. We have a really robust project management strategy and risk management for these projects. So, you know, we're very open and honest. We're transparent in how we do things. You know, there's no hidden costs with Sci-Net. I know a common concern for customers is total ownership cost. You know, not just the initial cost of the project, but ongoing maintenance costs, support costs, license costs, like where that fits in. You know, and what Sci-Net would like to do is, you know, when we give you the proposal, we give you that 3-year total ownership cost to see, you know, how the costs sort of overlay throughout the first 3 years, just to give you that sort of transparency. But from a project, you know, risk management point of view, we follow the Microsoft SureStep methodology, which is obviously being developed by Microsoft, and it's to help obviously mitigate the risks and, you know, improve the success of an implementation. And, you know, it has 6 phases. The diagnostic phase, where we understand, you know, pain points for the customer, really understand, you know, their missions and goals and what they want to get out of, you know, an implementation of this caliber. Then we go into the analysis phase, you know, where we then start looking at workshops, running workshops for them, really getting into the nitty gritty of, you know, understanding their requirements and being able to replicate, you know, their processes within the Business Central system. And then we go into design. So we'll write up, you know, the functional design documents for obviously the customer after the workshops. And this is really to, you know, illustrate and show them the system that we believe that is what they want. And, you know, this sort of entails, you know, back and forth to really get the FDD, which is the functional design document, sort of ready for when we start deploying and developing the system. Fourth phase, as I just said, is the development. We obviously develop the system. That's pretty self-explanatory. And deployment is, we'll then look to start unit testing and bring it over for sort of user training. And that's where sort of UAT falls into it as well. So that's quite a big phase. And then obviously the last phase, which is also quite an important phase, is the operation. So it's the post go live phase. It's not, we're not leaving you in the dirt there. That's the most important phase for us, where we hand you over into support. Where the support team will then take over, learn the business processes, and facilitate any fixes that need sort of minor changes, but also to help with that growing strategy of the next phases of what the customer wants to do. So it's very methodical, and there's a lot of risk management involved. And Sci-Net ourselves, we like to offer those multiple branches of communication throughout the project and support. So you'll be sponsored by a director, where you'll have direct communication with them. You have your project manager as well, and the team on the project, where you'll have weekly, monthly meetings to discuss ongoing costs, where the project is, for you to ask any questions. And then you have me as well on the sideline. So I don't quite come into it until you go live, but for that added sort of layer of communication, I'm there in the background as well.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's quite nice hearing the transparency of your methodology throughout the whole phase. And I think one of the important things that you sort of touched base on is that constant communication and the risk mitigation side. Like, obviously you get a lot of end users that are a little bit hesitant because they're worried about, as you said, costs and hidden costs that may not be as upfront with other partners. So I think that's such a key thing. Now, one of the things that would be nice to hear, you've touched upon sort of the importance of, why it's important to work with a partner and what that involves as such. But if you were to highlight maybe like a couple of customer success stories, because I know the customer experience is such a big thing for you throughout that whole deployment and full cycle. Have you got any success stories as such?
Oh, many, too many. No, joking. No, I think we really pride ourselves on how our customers value us, and it's until recently that we've started doing more customer success stories, as that's what people want to hear is that review of the Sci-Net experience. And I'm sure if you went to our website, you'll see one of our biggest customers, Tappy Carpets, who was a really good success story. Coming into Sci-Net, it allowed them to have that overall visibility of their operations, from estimating their sales, supply chain, inventory, and website integrations. It allowed them to focus on other things within the business to help grow. And I think that was one of the first really good success stories. Tappy are a large business, and showing that Sci-Net has the capability to grow with you as a customer is really important. I think that doesn't happen often, but yeah. And I think from the top of my head, goodness me, use your brain. Oh yeah, no, there's goodness me, I'm having mind blanks. No, there was another one we've done recently, actually, and it was our first video case study with one of our customers called Designer Sofas in the retail space. And their story before Sci-Net was, they were family run, they had 6 stores, paper-based business as well. So they hand wrote all of their orders, emailed to all the factories. So it was very manual, very laborious tasks. Yeah, tough. And when they came and sort of came under Sci-Net's wing, as it were, their whole driver for implementing a system was to try and streamline their customer experience, make it an interactive process, whilst they're going through that customer journey. And so what we did was automate that sales experience for them, to allow them to sort of manage these expectations, and automate these processes as well. So I think that was a really good one. And that was a video case study as well that included our director, Tim, who explains it really nicely.
Oh, that's good.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll have to have a look out for that one. So yeah, it's really great to get the success stories, because just sort of going back to the previous point that we were going through as well, is a lot recently as well, we've heard so many cases of end users who have gone through a project or an implementation and it's not returned what they expected, it's not delivered, for various different reasons, and so then they're ending up having to leave, go to another partner, and it's ending up costing them, you know, sometimes double what they expected. So you know, exactly, and sometimes more, you know, and time wise as well, you know, there's all sorts of factors. So you know, the fact that, as you say, you've got these success stories is a really great reputation to have, and it just stands Sci-Net in a great light. So yeah, it's really nice to hear the positive stories rather than all the horror stories that we tend to hear a lot of. So
yes, well, I suppose off the back of that, you know, it's really important for businesses who are looking for ERP to select the right ERP partner, because, you know, as you said, there are horrors, and there are challenges, you know, that really can cost a business. So, you know, with Sci-Net, obviously, we want to be as transparent and as honest as possible. You know, and we work within our verticals. We don't veer outside, because, you know, our specialty is with inside. But it is, you know, for businesses, it's incredibly essential to, you know, conduct these thorough sort of research. You know, even bring in a consultant to help with that ERP selection process. And you know, these business requirements, you know, having them sort of on a piece of paper to really sort of showcase what you're looking for is incredibly important. And that's what Sci-Net tries to, you know, understand when we have these initial meetings with prospects.
For sure. I think something that you just said there was really refreshing to hear as well, is that you don't go outside your verticals. You know, there are partners out there that we know, you know, that you know, there's partners out there that will just take on any business, whether or not it's right for them. And yeah, of course, times have been hard, but it's, you know, in the long term, as you say, it's probably better that you do focus in your specialist areas, your verticals, like Sci-Net. But interesting question for you is, if you do get approached by a client that you think, you know, these guys aren't quite right for us as a business, do you have relationships with other partners where you will, you know, introduce or partners as well with other third-party products that you would introduce to your clients, for example?
That's a good question.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And, you know, sometimes it is tough to let that one go, you know, when you've built such a good relationship. But, you know, we, as I said previously, you know, we work within our within our verticals, so to speak. Getting it? Yeah, that's industry. But yeah, in answer to your question, we do. You know, if we feel that there's another partner that specializes in that particular industry, and, you know, they have a stronger sort of you know, collaboration in that field, then we will definitely pass them over. You know, we want to get the best out of this project, and so, you know, there's no point you know, going down the project route when we know someone can do it better than us. So we only really go for, you know, these projects if we really feel that we are in the best situation and we have the best expertise for it. Which is
You'd like to think it's a two-way thing as well. So you'll in turn get projects.
Yes,
to you so.
And it does happen, and it does happen quite a lot, more than you'd think. And I suppose that really highlights the partner ecosystem as well. You know, we have partners too within this space. You know, without our partners, you know, we wouldn't be able to build upon that competitive advantage that we have within the industry. These third parties, they specialize in a particular field within Business Central, so they seamlessly integrate. And Business Central is the full end-to-end business management software, but the partners are the extensions of Business Central that really excel the business and propel it forward. And so, Sci-Net would be, not nearly as far as we are now without the ecosystem that we have in partners. And we're constantly trying to, improve that sort of base and get more partners as well, and create that strong addition to that customer sort of journey.
Absolutely. As Nico said, it's a really refreshing point to look into a little bit more, because it's not discussed too much. No. You don't hear this side of it really, so that's really, really nice to hear. I know we will, because a little bit stretched for time now. So obviously, for anyone that is wanting to ask any comments or questions, put it in the comments. But just if there was any sort of final points to finish on from your side, James, whether it be, I don't know, the future or direction of the technology or Sci-Net or anything you want to round up on, what would that be?
I think that's a very good point. I think as a last note, I would say if you're looking for an ERP system at the moment and you're doing your research, which is great news. I think from Microsoft's perspective, obviously Business Central is a Microsoft product. It's backed by Microsoft, and there is a lot of strength backing this product. You're not just investing in Business Central, the product itself, but you're investing in the whole Microsoft suite. You'll have integration within Outlook, Excel, Teams as well. So it really centralizes all of those sort of different products into one. But also, the Microsoft roadmap is incredible with the amount that they're investing into Business Central at the moment. With new features like Copilot, which is the new AI-driven, which is wicked, by the way. And we're seeing customers, more and more customers now, sort of utilizing the AI sort of powered insights within Business Central, which I think is phenomenal. I love it. But we have constant new features, new functionality being added to Business Central that Microsoft bring out, year on year, with 2 major updates, 8 to 12 minor updates. And, it's our job, Sci-Net, to obviously give you and provide you with that information and sort of come to you with recommendations of, the new features that would benefit the business. So I think it's really important that, Business Central is definitely, on your list of ERP to look into. And obviously, with Sci-Net, we can really help sort of propel, that much further, that efficiency within your industry that further. If you're a retail customer, a retailer, or you work in distribution or in the trade counters, then Sci-Net is definitely the best fit for you. And I really believe that our industry specific solutions that we're heavily investing in year on year will be perfect for a company within that industry.
Yeah, and I think that's so nice that you sort of highlighted to everyone that BC isn't just BC. So you're not just paying for that specific product. There is so many additional benefits and add-ons and things that people aren't aware of when they're purchasing this technology. So I think that's a really good point to finish on. And we love working with you guys as well. We know what a great business you are. So as James said, if you're in any of those industries and you are looking to talk about ERP systems and what they can implement, etc., then James is your guy. Connect with him, and I'm sure you'll be happy to answer any questions, won't you? Hopefully.
Yes, absolutely.
You want to become a consultant?
Yeah, definitely.
Selling and implementing. So.
Yeah. We're doing the whole thing soon.
Oh, goodness me. Don't get ahead of yourself. Not quite there yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well,
one for the future.
No.
And I think where
Absolutely.
You like personally on your journey, the fact that in 2 years, you know, you've progressed. Neither of us can talk today, can we? Progressed up the ranks, and you know, you're exploring new routes and careers, and you've got your business of Sci-Net behind you, supporting you. I think, overall, it's been quite a refreshing chat, I would say, with you guys.
For sure.
So
no, absolutely.
Well,
thank you very much for having me. Yeah, thank you very much.
Right. I'm sure we could talk for hours and hours. But
I was going to say we're going to have to do more. We're going to have to do more podcasts. I love it.
Yeah, get you on later in the year for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yes, absolutely. We'll schedule that in.
Then you can talk about being a consultant.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, well, the pressure's
no
on.
Pressure. No pressure.
Oh dear.
Well,
good stuff.
Yeah. Well, once again, it's been a pleasure having you on. We do unfortunately have to finish there because we've got to get back to some recruitment. But it's been a pleasure. We look forward to maintaining our partnership this year with you guys as well. And you get the lovely Nico to talk to most days as well. So thank you for joining as well, because I know you don't usually do this.
No, I enjoyed it. It's good fun.
So it's nice having you both. So for everyone viewing, as I said, we will get back to your comments as well. But tune in 2 weeks' time, because it's every other week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.